everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing March's TBR to be rolled. So this is my third month of doing my TBR game. If you are looking for the previous videos, I will have the playlist linked down below. January's TBR video will have all of the extensive rules that we went over. So yeah, let us start with going over how I did this month in February. I will say, because I am filming this with 8 days left in February, I have not finished all of my books yet, but I have enough time that I should be able to. I do realize I said this last month in February for my January books, and if you watch my wrap up, I still had one book that I did not read. So on this channel with this TBR game, we are not having any punishments for not finishing things or not getting started in things, especially because I am halfway through my pregnancy now and I'm already getting out of breath and super tired, all that kind of stuff. So yes. However, if I do finish all of the books that I have for this month in February, I do get to write myself a little note saying that if I finish the book that note is in, I get to buy another book, and my husband will hide it behind me in one of my physical TBR books somewhere. I won't know where, so that'll make it a little bit more interesting about if I'm going to be able to buy those kind of books. I do have one note already from a previous video from last year in here somewhere, and I still have not found it yet, so yes. Very interesting, but let's run over the books for February. So like I said before, I have not finished all of these books yet. I actually have 5 TBR books that I roll every single month, but one of them was an ebook, which was Guild by Raven Kennedy. I did finish this one. I also have a vlog on it in case you are interested, but I will talk about it more in my wrap up. The next one I have here is In the Air Tonight by Laurie Handelin. I have read that one. Then I have Nightwalker by Jocelyn Drake. I have not started that one yet. I also have For Goodness Sake Volume 2 by Kaylin Smith. I have read that one. And the final one I have here is Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa. I have not started that yet. I did actually tell Lena from Sufficiently Advanced Lena that we should do this as a buddy read because she brought it up and she was the one that gifted this to me. We have not started it yet. I'm filming this on Sunday. I will hopefully send her a message today saying, hey, let's get this started because I need to finish it by the end of the month. So yes, 2 books I have not started yet. The other 3 I have finished already. So overall, not too crazy, especially like I said, we still have 8 days left in February when I'm filming this video. Doing 2 books by then should be doable. But yes, so that is where we are standing for last month. I'm going to quickly run over our little die here with the different colors and what they mean, and then we're going to jump into the rolls. So if we roll a red, that means Presley, my 2.5-year-old, gets to pick any book for me to read. Any physical book, because there's no way he's going through my ebooks, but any of my physical books to read. If we roll an orange, that is a TBR bucket pick. I have a TBR bucket with all of my TBR books, both physical and ebooks, and we are going to randomly draw a title out to read. Yellow, I have cards corresponding to yellow. We will pick a random card, and these cards are all dealing with format of book, genre of book, age grouping of book. Next we have green. I also have cards for green, however these are more challenges. So we've actually seen 2 challenge cards in the past. One was a color, so I had to roll the die and whatever color came up, I had to read a book with that color on the cover. And then I think the one for last month was to read a continuation of a series. Next we have blue. This is a poll pick. I will pick between 2 to 4 books and put the poll up on either Instagram or Twitter or both so that you guys have to end up picking what book I read for the month. And then finally we have purple. Purple is more of a wild card. I didn't really know what to do with purple at the very beginning of this year because I was going to use it as more of a punishment, sort of re-roll type of situation, but because I'm only doing 5 rolls per month, because that is the maximum I can realistically make myself read while I'm pregnant and then having a newborn, this has now turned into I get to choose a different color when we come back and figure out what books I want to read. So if I roll a purple during our rolls, I could make it a yellow and pick a card. I could make it an orange and use my TBR bucket. I could pick a red and have Presley pick a book. Purple means I get to choose the category, basically. So that is it for the dice. And I think that is actually it for this room. So now we are going to move out into the other room and do our rolls to pick our books. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna have to stand up? Yeah, ready? Roll number 1. Let's do it. What is it? Red. This is our ball. Are you gonna help me hold it?
Yeah.
Okay, so our first roll was red, which means Presley gets to pick a book. Okay, Presley, look at me. So, you get to pick. Oh, no. You're gonna pick a book. See, you have all these books. Can you pick a book for Mommy? Anyone you want, bring it to me. You can do it. Pull. Oh, good job. Okay, bring it to me so I can show the camera. So Presley's pick is An Illusion of Thieves by Kate Glass.
Yeah.
So Presley's pick is An Illusion of Thieves by Kate Glass. This is one that I think I picked up a couple years ago because I had heard about it on BookTube, and I haven't really heard about it since. Thank you, baby. So this is going to be an adult fantasy. I love the cover. So because I haven't heard about this from anybody else in a while, and I bought it like a couple years ago, I think I don't really know anything about this book anymore. I'm going to have to read you the summary. It says, Romy escapes her hardscrabble upbringing when she becomes courtesan to the Shadow Lord, a revolutionary noble who brings to all laws and comforts once reserved for the wealthy. When her brother Neri is caught thieving with the aid of magic, Romy's aristocratic influence is the only thing that can spare his life, and the price is her banishment. Now back in Beggar's Rising, she has just her wits and her own long-hidden sorcery to help her and Neri survive. But when a plot to overthrow the Shadow Lord and incite civil war is uncovered, only Romy knows how to stop it. To do so, she'll have to rely on newfound allies, a swordmaster, a silversmith, and her own thieving brother. And they'll need the very thing that could condemn them all: magic. So yes, adult fantasy. It looks like we have some sort of conspiracy that we need to stop. All I know is that I've heard about it before. It sounded really good at the time. I'm horrible at remembering summaries, but this is our first pick. Okay, roll number 2. What is it? Blue. So roll number 2 was blue, which means a poll pick. So I'm gonna pick, like I said, between 2 to 4 books, and then I will post the poll when this video goes up so you guys can vote on it. I'll be right back.
Camera.
That is a camera. Presley's showing you his white race car. Good job, dude. Okay, so I'm back with some books. I think I'm gonna go, thank you. Okay, so I am back and I have a stack of books here. I did actually choose 4 different books because they are all books that I received in January for my birthday from friends on BookTube, and these ones all happen to be romances. I did receive some other books from BookTuber friends in January that weren't romances, but because I did have 4 that were romance, I decided that this was going to be perfect for a poll video. So the first one that I have here, and I almost feel like this is gonna win hands down because I feel like the most people ended up reading this last year, is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This was gifted to me by Heather from Belle's Library. This, all I know about it really, is that our main female character is demisexual, which is also how I identify, so I'm very excited to see that on page. But I also know that this originally was like Reylo Star Wars fanfic, and it got changed into a romance novel. I have no qualms about that. I love fan fiction. I'm not the biggest Star Wars person. I'm definitely more Star Trek, but I think this would be very exciting to read. The next one I have here is Hang the Moon by Alexandria Bellafleur. This was gifted to me by Christina from Northwest Reader. This is the second book in this series of companion novels by Alexandria Bellafleur. They are all queer. This one has, I think, at least one of these characters is bi. So while it is a male-female romance, it is still going to be queer. I read the first book, Written in the Stars, last year. Absolutely fell in love with it, and so I'm very excited to read more in this world. I actually don't know what kind of romance tropes we have in here, but I do know I definitely want to read it. Next, we have The Charm Offensive by Ali Cochran. This was gifted to me by Rye from Rye's Reading Corner. This one is going to be a male-male romance. I believe I've also heard somebody in this is potentially demisexual, and I'm very excited to see if that is true. But this is going to have some sort of star quality here. I think somebody is going on some sort of maybe reality TV show and ends up falling in love with like somebody that is in the studio but off the screen. I don't know, but again, I've heard amazing things and I definitely want to read it. And then the last one I have here, Presley has more cars, is Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. This was gifted to me by Michelle from Michelle's Library. This one, all I know is that it's going to be a romance, but one of our characters is non-binary. I've heard the rep is pretty darn good for this one, and I definitely want to read it. I don't think personally I've read any romances with an actual non-binary character outside of like sci-fi romance, where that was part of like the entire alien species like culture, and so everybody was queer there. I'm very excited to see about this one. So that'll be the poll. I think I might do the same thing that I did last time. I did Instagram and Twitter last month when I had a poll pick. I had more people respond on Instagram than Twitter. So if that is going to be the pattern that continues this time, anytime we have a poll pick in the future, it'll probably be on Instagram. But I'm going to do both just in case. It will go up at the same time as this video. So on Instagram, you'll have about 24 hours to vote. On Twitter, it'll probably be the same, like 24, maybe 48 hours to vote, to pick which one of these gifted romances I will read in the month of March. Okay, roll number 3. Ready? What is it? Purple. Okay, and so for roll number 3, we had a purple, which as I explained before, means I get to pick what other color / category we are going to use, red, to choose the books. We are not going to pick red to have Presley pick a random book. Instead, we're gonna use some cards. I think I don't get to use this as much as I would like to, so even though technically it is more of a random category, that kind of thing, I get to choose the book. So for this one, I think I like the green ones. I think that's what I want to choose because they're more like challenge cards. I might be like the highest rated book or the lowest rated book. It might be a book with a certain number of pages. I don't know. I'm very excited though, so I'm going to shuffle these. And since Presley is here and he really wants to hold these green cards, I think I'm going to let him pick out of the stack to see what challenge I get. Okay, Presley? You get to choose which green card. The one right on top. Okay, now we gotta see. Can I see what it is? Okay, I'm not mad at this. We get to buy a book in the month of March. The thing is, this buy a book means that we're gonna go to the bookstore and buy a book, but the book that I buy I have to read in March. So I actually don't know what book this is going to be on my TBR because I need to go buy it and then read it. But I officially get to go to the bookstore and buy a book. I have not been to the bookstore since like November. I don't think I went to the bookstore in December, as far as I remember. November or December at least. But Presley picked, I get to buy a book. Okay, roll number 4. What is it?
Purple.
Purple. Okay, so for roll number 4, we had another purple. So again, another sort of thing where I just get to pick what color and what category I want to use to pick my TBR. This time, we're gonna use yellow cards, because I actually don't think I've used the yellow cards at all. Like, I think there's still, like, wild cards still at the bottom. I don't think I've even had to shuffle these. These ones, like I mentioned before, are more for, like, format, genre, that kind of stuff. So I have, like, read a physical book, read an audiobook, read a fantasy, read a sci-fi, that kind of stuff. So, again, I'm just gonna take some time to shuffle these, and then we will let Presley pick one. I do not have buy a book in this one. That was only a green category thing, so we're not gonna get that lucky. But I think it'll be interesting to see what I do get from this. Okay, dude, are you ready to pick a yellow card for me? He's going for the top card again, so hopefully I shuffled these well. Okay, we gotta show the camera. He picked a physical book. I mean, that's most of my TBR, so I can pick any physical book to read. Okay, I have so many physical books that I feel like this took way too long to pick, but I think the one that I'm going to go with, because so far we have a romance, we have an adult fantasy, we have the fact that I need to go buy a book. I think I'm gonna pick a sci-fi romance. I've been in a romance mood, I love romance, and this is one that I got from Illumicrate last year and somehow just never picked up. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, the fact that it's gorgeous and people seem to love it. It is a male-male romance that is like set in space, and I think it's gonna have some like political sort of stuff, like they're supposed to get married after one of the guys' husband dies, and it's this whole big thing. I'm very excited to read it, and again, like I said, it's been on my shelves and I don't know why I haven't picked it up, so I think this is the physical book that I'm going with. As I think I mentioned in January, if for some reason I change my mind, as long as I pick another book that fits this category, I think we're good. So yes, I think this is the one that I want to go with currently. Roll number 5.
Yeah.
What is it? Red. And then finally for roll number 5, we have another red, which means Presley gets to pick another book. Okay, Presley, look at me. You get to pick the last book too, okay? So can you pick one more book for mommy? Pick it out and bring it to me. Okay, what'd we pick?
Boo.
A book, you're right. He picked Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl. And the book that he picked is Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl. So this is the gorgeous UK edition that I actually picked up on my honeymoon with my husband. When we were in the UK, we went and visited England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So technically UK and Ireland, because we went to not the UK side of Ireland. I picked up quite a few books on that trip because I could not help myself. These were sort of like my souvenirs for my honeymoon. I've heard amazing things about this. This is a YA, I think technically more sci-fi than fantasy, because we're going into like the dream world, I'm pretty sure. I'm actually not entirely sure, but first of all, cover gorgeous. I'm gonna read the back. It says, Bee hasn't spoken to her best friends since her boyfriend's mysterious death. Now a year later, she needs to face them. They're beautiful, rich, and deadly. She is certain one of them holds the truth about what really happened to Jim. A whirlwind night leads to a narrowly missed car collision and a sinister man knocking at the door as a storm rages outside to deliver a world-shattering message. As secrets unravel and time backbends, the 5 friends must make a shocking choice. Trust no one, fear everything. How would you vote? Who will survive Neverworld Wake? So actually, I guess, YA thriller with potentially some sci-fi elements. I'm very excited for it though, because again, I've heard amazing things. It's not very long, so good on you, Presley. I'm glad he hasn't been like deciding to choose 500+ page books. But yes, this will be the last one we have here. So we have all 5 books/prompts for the month. So out of the ones that we know for sure I'm going to be reading, we have An Illusion of Thieves by Kate Glass, Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell, and Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl. We also have our poll pick, where you guys can choose between The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, Hang the Moon by Alexandria Bellafleur, The Charm Offensive by Ali Cochran, and Love and Other Disasters by Anita Kelly. And then I need to go to the bookstore and buy a book. So yeah. That is going to be it for today's video. I do definitely want to thank the people who suggested moving my stacks of books off of this shelf when Presley has to pick, because he had only been gravitating towards stacked books and the top book of the stack. As you can see from this video, he actually picked one from this side and one from this side, which I was very happy with. He's branching out a little bit more of the books that he picks for me. But one other thing that I have noticed is my die really seems to love landing on red, which the reason I picked red is because that was just sort of the color that we dressed him in a lot as a baby, that kind of thing. So I was just like, Presley is associated with red in my mind. But now I'm wondering, should I change this up a little bit? I know we've only done this for like 3 months so far, but should red potentially become another card space where it would still be like Presley gets to pick my books, but it would also be who gets to pick my books. So I would have a card for like Presley picks my books, I would have a card for my husband picks my books, and I would maybe have like 2 to 3 cards of a friend picks my books, and I would text a friend or call a friend, that kind of thing, so that they can pick a book. So it's not always my 2.5-year-old coming in here and picking a random book. Although my husband coming in here and picking a book would also be sort of random because he also feels like he knows nothing about my books and he never like reads the summary to like fully decide if I should read them. He just sort of picks things. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I do love Presley participating in these kind of videos. He absolutely loves when we roll the dice. But at the same time, in the last 3 months, I think he's picked seven of my books. I'm pretty sure. I could be mistaken exactly on the number. It could be more like 6, but he's picked at least like 2 books per video since we started this, because my Di absolutely loves red. So just let me know what you think. But besides that, I think that is going to be it for this video. We have now picked, like I said, our 5 books / prompts, because I need to go buy a book for the month of March. Let me know if you've read any of these books. But that is it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye!